to the Gospel Road. Deuteronomy 6 is what we're looking at. It says, "Now this is the commandment, the statutes and the rules that the Lord God commanded me to teach you, that you may do them in the land to which you are going over to possess it, that you may fear the Lord your God, you and your son and your son's son, by keeping all his statutes and his commandments, which I command you, all the days of your life, and that your days may be long. Hear therefore, O Israel, and be careful to do them, that it may go well with you, and that you may multiply greatly, as the Lord, the God of your fathers, has promised you, in a land flowing with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and will teach all your soul and with all your might. And these words that I command you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit at your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on doorsteps of your house and your gates. And when the Lord your God brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you, with great and good cities that you did not build, and houses full of goods that you did not fill, and cisterns that you did not dig, and vineyards and olive trees that you did not plant. And when you eat and are full, then take care lest you forget who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. It is the Lord your God that you shall fear. Him you shall serve, and by his name you shall swear. You shall not go after other gods, the gods of peoples who are around you, for the Lord your God is in your midst, and is a jealous God, lest anger of the Lord your God be kindled against you, and he destroy you from off the face of the earth. You shall not put the Lord your God to the test, as you tested him in Massah. You shall diligently keep commandments of the Lord your God, and his testimonies and his statutes, which he has commanded you. And you shall do what is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may go well with you, that you may go in and take possession of the good land, and the Lord swore to give to your fathers, by thrusting out all your enemies before you, as the Lord has promised. When your sons ask you in time to come, what is the meaning of the testimonies and the statutes and the rules that the Lord our God has commanded you? Then you shall say to your son, we were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and the Lord showed us signs and wonders, great and grievous, against Egypt and against Pharaoh and all his household before your eyes. And he brought us out from there, that he might bring us in and give us the land that he swore to give our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God for our good ways, that he might preserve us alive as we are this day. And it will be righteousness for us if we are careful to do the commandment before the Lord our God as he has commanded us. Deuteronomy 6. The little focus on here that we're going to want to look at starts at 6, verse 6 here. It says that, and these words that I command you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Sharing, teaching. That's the one thing that we do. That's the one thing that we are meant to do to help people be the best that they can be. Here it's talking about, God's laws, his commandments, his statutes that you're passing to your children, to your family. But when you are dealing with things like this at work, in everyday life, again, we're here to help people be the best that we can be. Do we do that always? No. Do we fail a lot? Yeah. I know I do. I know I've been having issues. Even now I'm kind of dealing with a little bit of a headache, but I figured I want to try and get this done because I didn't get one last week for the same reason. So see, things happen. Life can happen. Life can get in the way and create problems. I know I am frustrated a lot because when you're trying to share with people, to help them, to teach them, to understand how things work, it depends on how open they are to listen to that. I mean, I just had an issue a few weeks ago because one thing dealing with radio, we are on a time schedule, so you have to be focused on time, especially if you're at a talk station. Music station's not really that much, but when you're trying to, meet up with a news or a network program at the top of the hour, you have to be out by a certain time. It's, all in timing. And there's a lot of jobs that are like that. It's not just radio, and I'm sure a lot can think of what they do that it has to be exact time for something. And then you try to share that, and if people are wanting to learn to be better to do that, they're going to understand it. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. They're too busy thinking of themselves, thinking what they want, thinking how they think it should be done. Pretty much, I will do what I want. And it doesn't really matter what you say. Now, I said something to the person. I mean, I thought I said it very calm, but they could have taken it wrong. I know they were upset with me. Still are, from what I can tell. Because I asked them to watch their time. So they said I had a bad attitude. And maybe I did. Because there are things that we need to focus on. There are things that need to be done a certain way because that's what needs to be done. If you have to be done by a certain time, you need to be done by that time. That's just in stone. It's a hard stop. And there's not a lot you can do about that. I mean, that's just life. But some people keep trying to walk in that gray area. They are not wanting to be held accountable for things that are going on or what they do or what they say, how they act, how they react. I'm sure I fail at that all the time. Right now, we all deal with this, I'm sure, at work, where you're dealing with stress because right now we have so many people that are pretty much spouting orders. You don't even know who's in charge. There's a saying that says if everyone's in charge, no one's in charge. And sometimes you feel like, especially when you're dealing with a company or a place where they kind of do things on committee, we'll say, well, then you've got way too many people that are able to make a decision, make a comment, and not always are they going to agree. That's the other problem when you're dealing with something like that, is because not everyone is thinking the same way, and now you're going to get two different orders, we'll say, of what needs to be done or what to do or what they want you to do. That doesn't work either, because that just turns into frustration, and you're not sure how to deal with it. It gets frustrating every day. And I know I don't always deal with my frustration the best. I don't always deal with my annoyance the best. It kind of drives me insane. That's why, for me, I try to just lose myself into my space, throw my headphones on, and just do my job. I try, and sometimes I probably step out of bounds. But we all do. But see, this is where it comes down about teaching, being diligent on how things should be taken care of, how things should be done. This is where they're talking about how, you need to teach your children the way. You need to teach your children how to be good, how to live right, how to treat others, so they can be the best that they can be as they're growing, because then they can help others be the best that they can be. You know, it's how you're giving them that same teaching diligently every day, the same thing, over and over and over again, not weighing from it, not maybe blurring it a little bit and saying one thing one day and another thing the next day, because that just creates confusion. You know, there's the song by Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Teach Your Children. It's a great song. But it is our responsibility that we need to teach those around us. Something we are held accountable. Teach our children to be that person, to teach our coworker that might just have started, that is learning the department that you're in, so they're needing help. You know, that's what we do. We help each other be the best that they can be. I mean, I think it's pretty easy, pretty self-evident. But we know that that can't always be done, because not everybody wants to help everybody, because a lot of people, they do not want someone to be better than them. So they're going to do whatever they can to hold them back. You know, they're afraid because of their knowledge. They're afraid of their go-get-em attitude. They're afraid of how quick they learn. They are afraid of how easy they can change things. You know, especially dealing with radio, it's changing every day. And it's funny with conversations that I have that so many people are thinking very old school radio of how things were when you're just talking about, you know, the radio dial. And when you bring up podcasting or you bring up the internet, you know, you just get that deer in headlights look and that blank face. And some that just do not want to deal with that. But that's where we are. I mean, that's why I'm doing a podcast. I've been doing it for years, because I see the importance to it, to where I need to understand it, so I know how to pass that along and help others know what it is, so they're able to do it too. A lot to learn. A world that is ever changing. Technology that is throwing us all over the place very quickly. And it's hard to keep up. I know I'm behind. I'm not on top of it all. Social media, I'm not on top of it all. Do the best that I can. But sometimes that's all we can do. But we need to be diligent with that. We need to be diligent to help people be the best that they can be. Deuteronomy 6, that's what we looked at today. How can that help you? How can that help you be your best, so you can help others be their best? That's all I ask whenever I share these, is that you really take it to your heart to be the best that you can be, so you can help others. Because that's what it is. It's really lifting them up and helping them find their potential of what it is that they can be, so they can succeed in life and feel better about themselves. I know I have a problem with that, and many people do. Very low self-esteem. Deuteronomy 6, check that out. If you enjoyed this, you can always share it on social media. I always appreciate that, as well as even giving me a rating on the platform that you are listening. You can find me on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I think that's all of them, at My Buddy Jimmy or at mybuddyjimmy.com. But thank you so much for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
If you're looking for help with software, app, web development, be sure to check out my friends at ingenuitycompany.com. They believe in their clients. Software development, app development, web development, visioning, design thinking, diagramming, organizational development, strategy. They can help you at the Ingenuity Company. Find out more at ingenuitycompany.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines, across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.